Browns quarterback chaos. Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel face uncertain NFL future as Cleveland eyes 2026 QB draft. In the ever-chaotic world of the NFL, building a successful franchise often starts and ends with one position, quarterback. For the Cleveland Browns, that process has been a grueling marathon over the last 2 decades, filled with failed experiments, big contracts, and countless resets. And now, despite investing over $230 million in Deshaun Watson and burning through 4 first-round picks since 2007, the Browns find themselves exactly where they've been for years: uncertain, divided, and desperate. At the center of this current storm are two rookies with star potential, Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel. Both are promising, talented quarterbacks trying to navigate their first NFL season in a franchise that doesn't seem ready to commit to either. According to new reports and insider commentary, the Browns may be more focused on their long-term quarterback plan than developing the talent they currently have. The result? A confusing, overcrowded QB room that risks suffocating the dreams of these young guns before they even take their first NFL snap. A crowded room with no clear leader. As the Browns prepare for training camp, the quarterback competition is heating up and getting messy. The current lineup reads like a depth chart gone rogue: Deshaun Watson, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. That's 5 quarterbacks with varying levels of experience, skill sets, and expectations, all vying for limited reps in a position that only has one seed on the field. Jason Lloyd, a trusted Browns insider, recently broke down the situation on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. In his assessment, the Browns aren't truly looking for a long-term solution this season. Instead, 2025 might just be a placeholder, a chance to stay competitive while they bide time until the 2026 NFL Draft, where they hope to finally find their franchise quarterback. I mean, when you're trying to get 2 quarterbacks ready, you're not going to have another quarterback ready, Lloyd bluntly stated. In other words, the Browns might be intentionally limiting reps for players like Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel because they know neither is their ultimate plan. This revelation struck a nerve among analysts and fans. G. Bush, co-host of the same show, expressed his frustrations. "We're going to go with Flacco and Pickett and lose a bunch of games, get the first pick, and get a quarterback. And you know what you could have done this year? You could have got a guy in the 3rd round. You could have got a receiver that could have been developing." The illusion of opportunity? For Shedeur Sanders, this scenario must feel like a cruel twist. After a stellar college career at Colorado under his father, Deion Coach Prime Sanders, Shedeur entered the NFL with high hopes. Though he slipped to the 5th round, he arrived in Cleveland with a chip on his shoulder and something to prove. And in practice, he's been doing just that. According to reports from Browns minicamp, Sanders completed 77.4% of his passes, 41-4, 53, tossed 9 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. He looked confident, quick on his feet, and eager to learn. He also spent valuable time shadowing veteran Joe Flacco, soaking in years of NFL wisdom. By all accounts, Sanders has been outperforming expectations. Yet, despite his effort and production, Sanders hasn't taken a single first-team rep, not one. He's buried on the depth chart behind Watson, Flacco, Pickett, and even fellow rookie Dylan Gabriel. As it stands, Shedeur is officially QB4, a role that offers little to no visibility or meaningful reps in actual games. T.J. Houshmandzadeh, a former NFL wide receiver turned analyst, added fuel to the fire during a recent podcast. "I was told by somebody that's in the building, that ain't a player. It's really coming down to Kenny Pickett or Dylan Gabriel," he said, notably leaving Sanders out of the discussion. If that's the case, then Sanders is fighting an uphill battle, not just against fellow rookies or aging veterans, but against a front office that may have already made up its mind. Dylan Gabriel's dilemma. Gabriel's situation is only marginally better. The former Oklahoma quarterback has reportedly caught the coaching staff's attention with his leadership qualities, fast release, and decision-making under pressure. He's even being seriously considered for the starting role, as suggested by Houshmandzadeh and others. But Gabriel, like Sanders, is also trapped in Cleveland's current quarterback strategy, which is less about the now and more about the future. Even if Gabriel impresses enough to edge out Pickett or Flacco, there's no guarantee the Browns won't hit the reset button in 2026. The writing's on the wall. Unless one of these rookies has a breakout season that forces the team's hand, they'll likely be cast aside in favor of the next shiny prospect. And that's a dangerous game. The bigger problem, no long-term plan. What's most troubling about the Browns' current quarterback approach isn't just the competition, it's the absence of a clear plan. They're hedging their bets on multiple veterans and rookies while simultaneously preparing to draft someone else next year. It's a strategy that screams indecision and a lack of organizational faith. Shedeur Sanders isn't just a name. He's a brand, a legacy, and a player with proven poise under pressure. Dylan Gabriel, similarly, is no slouch. He's played in big games and delivered on big stages. To bring them in, then push them aside in the name of future plans, sends a dangerous message not just to players, but to fans and other young talent watching from the outside. Bush said it best. You want to draft the quarterbacks and then don't give them the opportunity to prove their worth. I can't get into it. I'm not going to buy that. Could preseason change everything? Despite all the chaos, uncertainty, and mixed messages, there's still a glimmer of hope. The Browns' training camp and preseason games could become the proving ground Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel desperately need. If Sanders can replicate or exceed his minicamp performance against actual defenses in live-game scenarios, Cleveland may have no choice but to reconsider. If Gabriel can hold his own against starters and command the offense with authority, he could leapfrog Pickett and maybe even Flacco. However, time is not on their side. Every rep counts, and when you're QB4, reps are limited and precious. It's a race against the clock and the narrative, both of which are currently stacked against them. What's next for Shedeur and Gabriel? For now, both rookies must remain focused and relentless. The reality is harsh. The Browns might not give either of them a fair shot this year, but they can change that. With enough consistency, enough pressure, and enough production, they can rewrite the story. Shedeur Sanders, with his lineage, leadership, and laser-accurate arm, has the tools. So does Gabriel, with his mobility and maturity. The Browns may want to put their NFL debuts on hold, but these young quarterbacks have other plans. Because in the NFL, all it takes is one opportunity to change everything. Closing thoughts. The Cleveland Browns quarterback room is a case study in what happens when a franchise tries to plan for the future without managing the present. It's a delicate balance between hope and hubris, and unfortunately, players like Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel are caught in the middle. Will either of them emerge as the surprise success story of the season? Or will they become the latest victims of Cleveland's never-ending quarterback carousel? Only time and the preseason will tell.